Hi, I'm doing Paul McWhorter's Pico W lessons, and we're up to lesson number 64 when he wanted us to start using classes, and he showed us a very simple class for an LED, which meant that you could blink it on and off. So he showed that he could blink red on and off 5 times, and then green on and off 10 times. But Keith made the point that you really might want to do them at the same time. Now I'm having a lot of trouble with YouTube, and I can't seem to post a single comment, let alone a link. So if you liked this, it'd be nice if you could say you liked it, maybe tell someone about it, because at the moment the only people who can watch my videos are people who come upon them by happen chance, or my subscribers. So if you liked it and you've made a video of your own, you could maybe pin a comment to the top of it saying, hello, this is Charlotte's Solution. Or if you really liked it, you could try putting a link on Paul's lesson saying, yes, but I really liked Charlotte's version, here's the link. Anyway, Keith's version, I will show. I have stolen Keith's code. Now Keith's code, he's just got a class called Blink, and you have the pin number, the on time, the off time, and the number of blinks. And so he set up LED 1, 2, 3, 4 to do various things, and then he's got something else which says, hello, is it time to blink? Hello, is it not time to blink? We will that is mine. Right, we will run this program. I'm using the board that Brian made me buy. Right, it all seems to be working terribly well. They're all blinking independently. But he's doing it inside a while true loop. So this is where, go away. He's doing it in the while true loop. So you wouldn't just have a program that blinks LEDs on and off, unless of course you're just doing the binary counter. So you might have something in there, and whatever you have in there would take time, and you might be going off to look up something on the internet or whatever. But the worst case scenario would be, why will you not do it? Oh, well, I will type it in again. Right, name equals input. What is your name? Will that work? Yeah, we'll try running that. Nothing's happened. Right, me. Yeah, got stuck again. So even though you're running this check all the time, if you've got anything that holds things up, it won't work. So I came up with a different solution. Right, we don't want Keith's. Sorry, that's rude to say we don't want Keith's. Right, this is my class. And my class is, you just set up your LED with the pin number, and that's it. Then you've got a method for on, off, toggle, and blink. And you can see it isn't terribly long. We'll do the on and the off and the toggle first of all. If I just copy those lines and put them in the shell, it's easier to do things rather than having to keep rerunning the program. Right, we will go LED 1 dot on. Yeah, it's on. It's always a good idea to see what happens if you run it, do it again. No, it's still on. LED off, LED on, LED toggle, toggle, yep, that's working. LED 2 dot on, yep, LED 3 dot off. Obviously that didn't do anything. Mustn't forget LED 4. LED 4 would get very upset. Oh no, we won't turn him on, we'll just toggle straight away. There. Everything seems to be working okay, but of course they aren't actually doing anything, it's just doing the on and offs. So I think it's easier. I'll just try LED 4 dot blink just to see what it does. Now this is just blinking on for 1 second, off for 1 second, and it goes on forever, but it isn't waiting. So if you notice, the prompt is there, and it's just going on. The other 3 LEDs is because I didn't turn them off, so that's just going doop 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 doop, but it's ready for action. So while you're doing that, you could go LED 3 blink N equals 2, for example. See what that does. So that's the one next to it. LED 4 is still going. LED 3 is, it blinked twice, and now it's off again. Everything seems to be working, but the only way I can stop that blinking is to press stop. Right, so we won't go into the shell again. We'll have a look at the program. Right, go down to the blink, because this is the important bit. Ignore the interruption handler for the time being. Right, so it has a default time of 1 second on, a default off time of the same as the on time, a default that it will go on forever, or you can put in a number of blinks, and wait equals false means that it will go straight on to the next line in the program. Ignore that. Right, program my class is very easy. If you haven't put in an off time, your off time is the same as the on time. I'm just storing it in a list for the time being. That wasn't a pun. And I'm starting from off every time. Now, this first bit, if wait, that means if wait equals true, that means you want to flash your LED on and off, however many times, and then go down to the next line. So that is the same as you would do normally when you're first beginning. You go you turn it on, you delay, you or sleep, and then you turn it off and you sleep, and you do that however many times, which is the very basic one. Now, that is if you wanted it to do a certain number of times. If you wanted it to go on forever, I've said you'd never want that to happen, because if you are not able to go on to the next line and it goes on forever, that would just lock up your program. It wouldn't do anything. So I've said wait equals false. Then I've kind of demonstrated all that, haven't I? That what happens if you put in N, and what happens if you right, that is off time n wait equals false. We will run that program. That ought to blink 5 times, and it's on for 1 second, off for 3 seconds. And note that because what wait was false, it fell out the bottom of the program, which is why it came back to that prompt. Now, if you try that is LED 2, you blink 3 times and you wait until it's finished doing it before you do LED 4. We'll try that. Yeah, and now it's doing LED 4. Have you finished yet? Yeah. Now, if you just blink it on for 3 times and wait is true, note it doesn't fall out of the end of the program until it's finished. Right, I just thought I'd show that. Right, back to the class. So we've done the easy bit of when wait is true. Now we're down here, wait is not true. Now that is the number of times I go into the interruption handler, which I just set initialized to 0. Now initially I made this timer, which comes from machine.timer. I did it so it was periodic, so it meant that it would just go every 1 second, 2 seconds, however long you put in that value, their period equals, it would come on and then go off and then come on and go off. But that didn't allow for being able to say on for 1 second, off for 1 second. So one shot does it once. And you think, how can that help? So we go up to the interruption handler, and what it does is it comes in and it says you toggle the value. I didn't actually use toggle because I want the self-pin value to be evident, really, and then I've toggled it, and then the self-interrupt count, you add 1 to it. Now here it says if not n, which means I'm going on forever, or self-interrupt count is less than n times 2. If you want to blink n times, you want to go on and off, on and off, on and off for each of n. Therefore the interrupt count needs to be twice n, if you get my drift. And then I'm setting up the timer, and this time, whereas it would have been that period there comes from there, off time, on time, off time, on time. That was yes, well, whatever it is, if that would have been the value would have been 0, and up here the value is 1, therefore you are toggling your timer from your off time to your on time. Well, that is a pretty good way of doing it, I think. I did look at Pico 0. Pico 0, it was so complicated the way they did it. It was using schedulers and lambda functions, and getting things from lists and making a whole list of what it ought to do. And I thought, why on earth when you can just do something that simple? I like simple. I haven't seen anyone else do it like that, but I hope it helps. So I will just run it once more. Hurrah! That will go on forever, but I won't.